So how do you measure sobriety with a corn addiction as, say, comparative to an alcoholic or any other addiction? This is a great question that I wanted to field because it's quite different. AA, staying away from alcohol entirely, would be the solution. Smeggs addiction or corn addiction, these kind of things kind of mingle because we don't want to get rid of smeggs entirely. It actually can be a very healthy behavior. So how do you manage it properly? And that's really where it comes down to the individual, the agreement they have with their partner, their own personal convictions, and a form of rigorous honesty, which has them taking an inventory of what is a behavior that leads to healthy, open communication and intimacy, as opposed to isolation and acting out. So to cut out corn entirely. Where do I then develop a healthy behavior that keeps me from that? That's where blockers can come in. I'm not going to be on my computer unless there are other people, or I'm not going to be on my computer past 8 p.m. Those would be boundaries that are set. And then crossing those and getting into the undesired corn would then be a relapse. So then you maintain your sobriety by not crossing those boundaries. And what you really want to avoid is someone becoming sexually anorexic, where basically they say, I don't know how to manage sex at all, and so therefore I'm just going to cut it out of my life entirely. They'll stop being with their partner intimately, they'll stop any kind of activity, they just become, as it suggests, anorexic in that way, where they just shut down all versions of themselves sexually. Healthier behavior is to say, what benefits me and my relationship to have a healthy expression of sex, and then what is one that's unhealthy, that just isolates me, shuts down intimacy, and has me repeating behaviors that are not good for me. Along with, here's what I want to avoid, there comes a personal reflection of here's what I want to produce. And because this action plan of sobriety is so specific and so focused on a customized approach for each individual, that can make it harder or even impossible to maintain that without accountability. Someone else should know what you're going through and what your hard stops are. And if you aren't able to keep that particular sobriety, they can be the one to follow up and check on you and just make sure that you're maintaining those rules that you've set for yourself. Without accountability, it can be hard to believe that someone's really attacking the specifics of their boundaries if there's no way to know exactly what those boundaries are. If someone is in AA and they're not to drink, it can be very easy to see that by lifting a drink to their lips that they violated it. If someone is recovering, their boundaries are, I can't be on a computer past 10 p.m., but before that is fine. If you find them on a computer, it's difficult to tell if they're relapsing or not. It's just one of those things where it has to be someone to say, hey, you said this is what you were going to abstain from and hold back on, and I can see that you're crossing it. And that's where then sobriety would have to be reset.